world. Welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. Jimmy Failla almost didn't make it.
It's a true story.
So emotional when I talk about this, Jim. But you did have some travel issues. Gave your mom a hell of a Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, shout out to Marianne Failla. Normally when I'm on the road, I always joke that I sign a lot of boobs. A lot of people signed hers, oddly enough.
That was nice.
Yeah, no, she gave back to the community.
That is a showbiz family.
That's
you
a real...
give the people what they want.
We call them the Jackson 3. That's what we call me, Jenny, and Lincoln. But with my mom there, we were the Jackson 5.
I thought you were saying your mom had 3 breasts, and I was going to be impressed.
That's how she landed the role in Total Recall. People don't know. I'm Arnold's maid baby. That's who I am. It all makes sense now. They're like, how did this cabbie get into showbiz? So I'm Arnold's maid baby.
Yeah.
But he didn't come back. He said, I'll be back. He was not back.
No, we're still waiting.
I love this.
It's garbage.
Good to see you. So the flight back, just really quick, I was in Sarasota in Orlando. Mm-hmm. The flight out of Orlando is like the worst flight you can possibly take because everybody there has 3 kids. They're coming from Disney. It's always crowded at every hour of the day. But they are legitimately bad communicators. If you want me to gripe, I'll give you just 30 seconds. I didn't mean to hijack your show. But you genuinely looked interested because you're good at faking that. So I'm just going to roll with it.
I've made a career on it.
You have. Have you ever? So anyway, they're not well organized there. And there's a lot of lineage because there's a lot of people lining up with babies. We got there at 3:45 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And despite the fact that I have TSA pre-check and clear, it took me an hour and 40 minutes to get through security.
What?
Because it's that discombobulated.
Okay, there's something going on with Clear. So what they're doing is they're updating the system.
Yep.
So at some point it'll be faster.
Yep.
But right now they have to input everyone's email, take a new picture, basically new biometrics for every single person.
We took 3 pictures. 2 license scans, a fingerprint scan. Then for some reason, the guy needed Jenny to grope his genitals, which I thought, I don't know how this works.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't, can you tell me the guy's name so I can put this down?
Well, I don't know that it was Clear related, but, you know, Jenny's a good sport. You take her on the road. She's there for the fun. She's there for the fun.
She's there for the frisk, apparently. But it's funny because it's similar to the police because there are different stages in your life when you will have relief about these 2 things. When you are a kid and you see the cops, you get nervous because at some point, if you've ever been busted for, I don't know, like toilet
underage
papering,
anything like that.
Egging someone's house, you've outrun the cops as a young person, and it instills fear. And then you get to the age where I'm at, where you see cops, you're like, oh, thank goodness, it's the police. Yeah. So it's the same thing with boarding kids. Like when you have little kids, you love the airline that's like, people with screaming ass, you get on the plane first. Like, we're going to roll out the red carpet for you, even though you are the most annoying people. And it's essentially like having a plane hijacked every time someone else has to fly with your kids. When you have kids, you're like, oh, this airline's amazing. We're going to be loyal to them for the next 10 years. And then when your kids are old enough to not have that special boarding, all you look forward to are the adult flights that don't have any kids on them.
No kids! I don't care!
Yeah, because before when you have little kids, you're like, Orlando, yes, it's made for us.
I'm getting picked up by a bus that plays the Mickey Mouse song.
Exactly.
This is it.
Yeah.
No, not this time around. Now Lincoln's 15, and he looks like he's on a few no-fly lists. He's got that deep voice, you know. That's the best part is like...
He's blonde-haired and blue-eyed.
He is.
Like, he's not on a no-fly list.
Well, listen, man. He has his issues. But Lincoln, when you go to TSA, if you have pre-check, your kid is covered as a minor.
Sure.
So what they do is they scan his boarding pass and ask him a series of questions. Like, how old are you?
Are these your parents?
He's like, 15.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the kind of kid like in Little League, the parents start fights because
Thank
like,
you.
I want to see a birth certificate.
He drove to the game. This kid is not 12. He drove to the game. He's got kids on the team. That's what he does. He does look like that.
Don't go anywhere. More Kennedy Saves the World right after this.
So I will tell you this. At TSA in Newark once, one of the best experiences of my life is he was 14 at the time. The woman who I told was 14 is still talking to herself about this to this day. She goes, that boy ain't no 14 years old. Man be coming up here saying he 14. She was Asian. And I'm kidding. But boy, no 14. And she was talking about it under her breath for like 30 minutes, and we were laughing. We impersonated her all the way to Reno.
So why was she so mad? She thinks you're child trafficking even though your child looks exactly like you?
No, she just didn't believe, like, we were skirting the system, but because he's not required to have ID, you technically can.
No,
you know, there are two types of people that work airport security, okay? And I do mean this. There are a lot of them are obviously vigilant people that are trying to help the situation. But like any job, there are just because people, meaning they're in a position to use discretion, and they decide to make your life harder just because.
Yes, because they have a little bit of power.
Yes.
But it's interesting because a lot of people, I'm not pooping all over the TSA.
Yeah, not at all.
We certainly need them because who else would let grenade launchers and firearms and weapons through their machines if not for the TSA agents? So they really do the Lord's work. But there are people who would never be able to qualify for federal or local law enforcement. They can't pass the background check, so they take whatever power they can with the badge and no weapon that they get from the TSA, and they do whatever they can. And it's very, very few of them because most of the TSA people are actually very cool.
Yeah, they're good. They're cool, and they're in a really difficult position, so I'm always trying to be nice and help out.
Sure.
One of the greatest TSA moments of my life, walking through LaGuardia, the guy with the drug dog goes, "Oh, my God, Jimmy Failla, I love you. I watch you on Fox." I go, "How much better is this story if your dog alerts right now?" And now you have to handcuff me face down on the pavement. It's so funny.
And you got 4 pounds of meth in your jock strap.
This is awkward. So
good boy, though, huh?
Shout out to the TSA, because for the most part, they are good.
Yeah.
But you always get the guy, okay? And when you were joking about them letting grenade launchers onto planes, every time a grenade launcher makes it onto a plane, it's because somebody brought a 6-ounce bottle of water in the bag, too.
Yes.
And they stop everything to get that water out of there.
Yeah, those are rookie mistakes that people shouldn't be making. Doesn't matter how infrequently you fly. You should not have water. You shouldn't have anything outside. You don't have, like, there was a woman who got on trying to, in a carry-on bag, smuggle a gallon of hairspray.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen a can of hairspray bigger. And it's like, oh, he's going to take my spray. And it's like,
yeah.
You're a jerk. Go to CVS and get the teeny tiny itty bitty bottle of hairspray.
You can do this.
That we all know we can take on.
So this is where I have empathy. And then I'll tell you one other thing really quick. Okay, empathy for that. I had a woman online today who was in a screaming match because her bag weighed too much. She's like, the bag was $100 on the way down. Now they're charging me $200 on the way back. But guess what she had done? She went shopping, and the bag cost twice as much.
Was she shopping for shot puts and crystal figurines?
So
like, yes, if you, so we had that Fiji Airways leaving LAX. I put my bag on the scale. The guy's like, it can't be over 7.7 kilograms. It's at 10. He's like, is there anything you can take out and put in your other bag? And I said, oh, there sure is. So I took about 3 pounds of stuff out, maybe 4 pounds, put it back on. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And then I just opened my bag and put the stuff right back in there and wheeled off. Yeah.
No, not this chick. So she wanted to fight the TSA. So it was $100 on the way down. There's no way it's $200. I'm never flying again. I'm like, oh, great. All right. So good luck.
They all do this. They all say, I'm never flying your airline again. And inside the person's going, thank God.
I know.
Because
I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to
again.
deal with you. Okay. So here's where there's a problem. Okay. If you're flying TSA pre-check with a minor, okay, they put a TSA badge on their ticket because they qualify under your account. You follow this so far?
I dig.
But what they did today is they put TSA pre-check on Lincoln, but didn't give it to Jenny.
Oh.
So it was like she would be flying under his account technically, which is impossible. So we did have a guy at the gate was like, she's not pre-check, man. We can't let her board here. You've got to go wait in that like 9-hour line. And I was like, no, at that point, I'll just do clear. I don't care.
Yes.
Because I had done pre-check without clear, because I happen to know right now clear takes longer.
Pre-check is half as long as clear.
It is. Right now
Even
it
if the line looks longer at pre-check, they're going through faster.
No, because you want to know what they're doing at clear? Are you ready for this? This is a PSA. You guys need to know this because we both travel a lot. And we're always here to make your life better.
Always.
If nothing else, okay? Clear is doing this thing in Orlando. This is magical. So they have a short line now where you do the eyeball thing, take your 7 pictures. They bring you and your lights right to the TSA guy who now puts you onto the security line. But the snake for the security line is now past the TSA agent.
Yes.
So you normally you get clear because there's 35 rows of snaking in and out of rope, and then you get to the agent. So now they're getting you right to the agent, which they always did, but the snaking, which you think you avoided, is actually on the other side.
Yeah.
So you still wait in line for security an hour and a half.
It's worse.
Yeah.
It used to be, clear in the early days, you were like Vince Neil at an LA strip club in 1991. It was like right away.
Right in, Mr.
Sir.
Neil.
Right here.
And now you are. Now you're Vince Neil. No, we're not letting you in the LA strip club. Not after what you did to the buffet last time. Mr. Meal. How about instead of girls, you do some curls, you fat slob. Yeah. Vince Neil then and now. That's the best way to describe Clear. That's the best way.
I mean, secretly you love to drive everywhere. I'm kind of surprised you didn't drive back from Orlando.
You should have. I should have taken my family. We're driving home.
I got us a convertible, Jenny.
That's how committed I am to the Kennedy Saves the World podcast. I did fly home just so I could be here.
God bless you, Jim.
Thank you.
And you and everyone like you, especially those people who were smart enough to give up on Clear for the summer and just go pre-check.
Yeah. No.
Saving your summer, saving the damn world.
Thank you.
This has been Kennedy Saves the World, along with Jimmy Failla. I'm Kennedy.
Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app. Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.